Hello and welcome to episode 44 of the What If South is Up podcast, where we explore fantasy worlds with our what if lens. Delving into, learning about, and maybe even reimagining our own worlds, we blend a bit of wisdom and a dash of whimsy to spark our creativity and yours. Get ready to reimagine and dig deeper as we journey from what if to what's possible. In other words, how to wing it like an author. My name is Derek Hall, creator of the Crimson Prophecy series, and today we're excited, as always, to have the lovely Christina Extina Lefebvre.
We are both excited I'm here.
Yes, we are excited.
We are so excited. And as just mentioned, I'm Christina Extina Lefebvre. I'm in the middle of building my first world, a magical parallel Earth where colonization never happened in the Americas. And I'm stalled on my first novel with the working title of Cogs and Claws.
Always excited to have Christina around, but we are equally excited, maybe even more so, to introduce a new and third host to the show. You may have met her before if you've been around long enough. We are adding Meg MJ Lindsay to the cast.
Yay!
Absolutely.
And I am equally excited to be here. I've been on the show a couple of times before. I am an author of novellas and short stories, but I'm about to release my debut novel, which is book 1 of the Tapestry saga, A Distortion of Fate. It is a dark political sci-fantasy. That's a mouthful.
Yes,
Wow.
it is.
Yeah, and that comes out October 2nd.
Don't miss it.
October 22nd, 2024. Because if you're listening to us and it's 2027, it's already been out.
If it's 2027, where the hell you been? Come on, man.
Where all writers go.
Great.
Well, before we dive into today's adventure... Oh my gosh, I am restarting that. Before we dive into today's adventure and see what if questions Chance brings up, Extina, what are you drinking today?
I went to the store special. I knew we were recording, and I was like, just gonna go get something weird, something normal. And I said, no, I have to have something weird because I'm recording tonight. So I went and got what does it say? Limited edition hard fruit cider with blueberry and lavender.
Ooh,
That's what I got.
that sounds tasty.
It's pretty damn tasty. I'm sorry, are we allowed to say damn? Yes. It's damn tasty.
We can say whatever we want. That's the beauty of
We can
editing.
say whatever. Yes. Derek, what do you have?
I have a simply spiked strawberry lemonade.
Yeah, those are okay. Kind of sweet.
It's simple. It's okay. It's not bad. It's what I had in the fridge, and honestly, it's working for me. So,
Yeah.
Meg, what about you?
I have a simply unspiked lemonade. Cutting down on the drinking. We'll revisit this next time with something else.
Okay. Since our last episode, where all of our listeners are wondering what's going on in your guys' writing worlds. So we're looking any breakthroughs or fresh storytelling tricks, anything like that. Let's start with Derek. What about you?
Well, considering that life has thrown everything it can at me in the last few weeks, I really have nothing to report. No writing, nothing special, except for helping to enlist the help of our lovely new third host, Meg. Thank you.
It's all you.
No, not even remotely my idea.
What about you, Meg? What have you been up to?
Well, I wouldn't really call it a breakthrough, but
Grapefruit?
A breakthrough. It's not grapefruit. No, I wouldn't call it a breakthrough, but I just submitted my Tapestry Universe short to my editor. So I intend to use that as a lead magnet for the series, which is what all of the podcasts are telling me to do these days, is to have a lead magnet that I can give away to attract new readers. So I just finished working on that, and it's off with my editor. And as I sent it out, the book 1 came back from the editor. So I'm back in the 7 layers of editing hell these days, and not having any breakthroughs, just putting my head down, getting work done.
Yeah.
Well, good for you.
Well, that's more than I've been able to do. So, good work.
I had a breakthrough.
Did you?
I did. I realized I know nothing.
I feel like we knew that.
Yeah. So I was listening to Helping Writers Become Authors, the podcast,
I love
and
that
it was
one.
about, yeah, I love that one.
Wyland, right?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
yes, yes, Wyland. And she was talking. It was it was a whole episode on endings, and something she said would just like my head just kind of like hurt because it's so friggin' obvious. A good ending results in the story goal either being completed or not. That's it. That's all you got to do. You just got to complete the story goal. And I realized that I've been struggling with exactly how to end my story because while I have a goal at the beginning and I have a really strong theme in mind, I simply can't settle on a compelling story goal that gets me to the climax. So I've had a breakthrough. I don't know what my exact story goal is, therefore I can't finish. Get a compelling ending. But I didn't come up with a breakthrough of how to do it yet. So, anyways, still struggling.
If you're open to it, have you read Story Genius by Lisa Cron?
It's actually in my yes, I've listened and read it a long time ago, and I think I'm re-listening to it right now in my Audible.
It might be helpful for a breakthrough because that talks all about like having your character goal touch their third rail, like the emotional rail, and
Yes,
who knows, that could do it.
I hope so because it would be nice to feel like I have a strong ending. I mean, I have like 16 of them drawn up on my little
Mm-hmm.
wheel, but nothing that is tripping my trigger.
Sometimes it just takes time, you know.
Yeah.
Derek
Well,
remembers me in like agony over the unfortunate legacy of Mr. Hyde and trying to figure out where that was going. And when it finally clicked into place, it was just epic. I made it end right where it started. Started
So
with a
good.
heist, ended with a heist.
So
yep,
good.
it was good.
Yeah, absolutely. I have trouble with that too, and I think that's a big part of my problem with book 3 that I've been working on and putting off and working on and putting off and working on and putting off because I just can't figure out how to do it and how to end it. Um, the first two books in the trilogy went pretty well because I could wrap up that book's arc, but still leave some stuff hanging for the next one, which is
Hmm.
fine. But now that I have to snip all the threads and tie everything off neatly, it's proving to be difficult. So yeah, I feel the struggle.
Yeah.
I feel like a series is harder to end than a novel. Like 100%.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And in this case, I have to do both.
Yeah, you
So
do.
because I'm going for that whole trilogy vibe, and yeah, trying to wrap up the main plot and book plot all at once and not leave
Yep.
anything hanging is a pain in the ass.
A
As
pain in
long
the
as you
bottom.
don't have Groot speak at the end, I think you're fine.
Mm-hmm.
When did that happen? Wait, did
Oh,
I
Challenge
miss
at the
something?
accepted.
end. I'm still mad. Is that clear that I'm still mad?
Yes.
You're laughing about it, so you can't be that mad. All right, fine.
Hello?
Silence is deafening. Um,
I have nothing else to say.
honestly, I don't have a whole lot of beef with that. It is what it is. He's been around long enough. Why couldn't he learn? And also, I mean, Vin Diesel, he has to say that at some point. So, anywho, yeah. As writers, it is crucial to keep our craft sharp by diving into stories, be it through reading, watching, or listening. Have you consumed any interesting stories since our last episode, Meg?
So I am on the final two chapters of Dread God, which is book 12 in the Cradle series by Will White. This is one of my favorite series, and I had it on hold for the longest time, but I kicked myself and got started again when I saw that it's getting animated into a Netflix series. And
Mm-hmm.
low-key, I also wanted to join Will White's spoiler streaming on August 2nd, so I need to finish it by then. And it is so, so good. It's really good. I don't see how he's going to round it out in the next two chapters, but I'm sure I will find out. And then I'm also midway through an arc read for an indie author. Her name is Jade Neoma, and this is for her debut novel. It's called Fate's Tether, and it is absolutely beautiful. The language is just so poetic throughout. So far, it's turning out to be a really beautiful debut.
Awesome.
Nice.
Christina?
Um, so I was watching. I don't know. I don't know if it's just because it's the latest one that I've watched or the last one I've watched, but I find this truly amazing and epic. Is the last series in the Star Wars universe, The Acolyte.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic.
No
Absolutely
spoilers.
amazing.
No
No
spoilers. I'm
spoilers.
only a couple of episodes into that, and I need to catch up.
Yeah, there
But I was
is.
enjoying what I saw, so.
Yes. And the fact that it takes place, what, like a couple hundred years before the
Mm-hmm.
trilogy, yeah, it's fantastic. I was totally brought into it. And then last night, I caught Deadpool and Wolverine with my hubby. Um, yeah,
Have you seen
fine.
the other two?
I saw one and a half of the Deadpool,
Hmm. Okay.
but it's not my thing. But I went with hubby. I had a good time. It was fine. I can see why people enjoy it, but it's not my thing. But I did laugh, so
Well, that's fair.
that's fair.
At least
Yes,
you laughed.
at least I laughed.
Yeah.
But it was a good story.
I love Deadpool. I
Um,
love Deadpool so
I
much.
love me some Deadpool.
And I
I'm
haven't
excited
yeah,
to see
seen
that
this
one.
one yet, so
no spoilers.
yeah, I know.
No
I do
spoilers.
appreciate though that the official Marvel account is sharing no spoilers graphics for Deadpool and Wolverine, and I think I probably shared half a dozen of them today on Facebook just because
I I will say that you have to watch if you haven't seen the Lokis, it might not
I have seen those.
resonate. Yeah.
Yeah,
So my husband was a little bit lost because he hasn't seen the Lokis.
you got to do
So
your homework, man.
yeah,
It's Marvel
and
now. You got to do your homework.
you got to do your mark. Yeah. And I also picked up a nonfiction book to study more about the native peoples of Alaska. So that's what I've been doing. So
Sweet. Well, I, as the remaining odd man out, I can't stop. I've been just plugging away at the Witcher books because they just keep getting better, and despite my best intentions, I keep reading them one after the other and can't seem to switch gears.
How
So
many are there in
stuck
that
on those
series? I haven't touched it. I keep meaning to.
8.
8. Oh
I
boy.
think there's 8.
I
The
say that
first,
after reading 12, 12 Cradle books.
I mean, I read Cradle forever too. It took me almost a year to get through all of those, but they were so worth it.
Oh, they're brain candy. They're so fast. They're such fast reads.
Yeah, they're great. But I think there's 8. I want to say there's 8. The first 2 or 3 go pretty quick because they're basically just collections of short stories, all in the same world, all with the same characters and whatever. But it's not like an overarching plot. It's very episodic. Um, and then I think it's the third or fourth book, somewhere in that neighborhood, they actually start calling them novels, and it's a lot more coherent. And once I hit that, it was just like, oh yeah, this is the stuff. So yeah, I'm fully invested at this point.
well, I'm really glad you're enjoying it.
Yeah, I grabbed my Kindle the other night and turned it on and realized that I apparently fell asleep on the last page of the book the night before, and there were only 2 words on that page.
Hmm.
So I had to immediately go and buy the next book because yeah, they're good. But anywho, moving on.
Okay.
So we're going to jump into the Dead Darlings segment. This is where each of us share a single sentence from our drafts, no backstory, just the words. And these lines may shine or they could face the delete key, but we're happy to share our wordsmithing woes and wins with fellow writers. So, Derek, Xtina, what you got for our listeners?
Derek, you go.
All right, fine. No, Dravos, a warrior does not deal in what if. You and you alone must face your emotions and worries.
Hmm. Hmm. Why? Why me alone? Hmm. Speaking of mine,
Mm-hmm.
here's mine. Ah, you youngers, always so eager to get to the end of things. I let my voice trail to silence. So,
Those dang whippersnappers.
I know. I want
egg,
the context
eggs.
behind that one.
What's that?
I said I want the context behind that one. I know it's not allowed.
Back in
Oh,
my day.
what about what you got, Meg?
All right, this is one that actually is dead. The editor just cut it, and I was a little bit upset about it, but I'm getting over it. Calver's breath puffed into the air, a warm cloud ransacked from his chest and disseminated by the heartless steel of winter.
Okay, so what broke your heart about getting rid of it?
Well, I guess I say too many words to get an idea across, and
Uh,
and I like to
yep.
say lots of words, and I'm learning to say fewer words.
There you go. Yeah, I can. Yeah, I can see what you were trying to say, and I can see you could say it in less words.
I thought it was pretty.
Yeah,
I'm not 100%
It's
on
not
that usage of ransack either, but
yeah,
hmm.
yeah.
But yeah,
No,
I can see why that would be a little heartbreaking.
and I love the fact that we actually have someone on the show at the moment that has a real life editor that we get
Oh,
to
it's
hear what
fun.
they say. Yeah, I'm
It's
sure
good
it
fun.
is.
We're killing stuff left and right. You can't get attached to anything. It's like a George R. R. Martin character. Man, because yeah, I'll think something's great,
Yeah,
and she'll
never
be
tell
like,
George
"Oh
who your
no, no,
favorite
no."
character is.
Okay, now on to the point of our show and our favorite game, and I'm sure it's your favorite game as well. Each week we roll a d20, which helps us randomly choose from our perpetual lifts, list of 20 scenarios.
Our
And then we
perpetual
talk
lisp.
list.
I
Yes.
wasn't gonna say it.
We can't do that, guys. That's bad. Okay.
How is
And
that?
then we
Whatever.
whatever. And then we talk about how it would affect our worlds. Derek has the dice tonight.
I do. Are we ready?
Yep.
All right. 19. What if mundane natural phenomena were toxic, such as rain, snow, etc.?
Okay, say that again. Because I don't
What
think she can
if
see our list. So
mundane natural phenomena were toxic?
ew.
Mm.
Didn't you have that in one of your books, Meg? The fog?
I had the suppression fog, and as it turned out, it did absolutely nothing. But nobody knew that. And
Boil
yeah,
it now.
it just kind
Okay.
of freaked people out because it showed up one day.
So we should probably ask you which work in progress are you going to talk about today?
Who's asking who?
We're asking
So
you.
Oh, you're asking me. Oh, good lord.
Yeah, you're
All right,
special.
so let's say I'm going to have it be in the Tapestry universe.
okay.
And what I would like to think, okay, so it's very dystopian, the book that I'm writing. We all love a good dystopian. And so I honestly think that if there was a toxic downpour of some sort, it would result in mass chaos because the government, at least in the main nation, doesn't really take good care of its people. But from a character standpoint, a character who's not the main character, who is not, she doesn't appear in book one. She is in book two, and she is an opportunist. I think she would take advantage of the situation and mold it into a way to gain more followers and power. Um, Either by offering protection or by mobilizing against it somehow. Um, that's what I think. I think from the character lens versus talking about the world lens, like what people would do and how people would react. I think that my main character from the second book in this series would definitely be an opportunist.
Hmm. So it I love how you can take advantage of this, like immediately in your story. First of all, because you know your story so well, and it kind of fits into your story. Would it? So it wouldn't change much, right? It would just you just know how your character could use it. But
Yeah, I don't think it would change. I mean, I would say that, of course, if the elements were toxic, more people would die. But that's, I just had an evil laugh. I'm sorry about that. I'm gonna have a little more lemonade here.
so
More
more
people would
people.
die. Mwahaha. Um,
I mean, yeah.
but I think from a government standpoint, they're already. It's very much there's like a four-way vie for power trying to take down a government that's not working. And so I don't think the government would do anything or move anything to make a difference. And I think it would be multiple parties trying to um, use this as a reason for additional change.
To
And my main
capitalize on it.
character, yeah, yeah. What about you, Xtina?
Well, I'm sitting there thinking, well, if suddenly, well, part of my book takes up place in a parallel Alaska, so if snow became toxic, well, phew, that would change everything, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
Um,
no kidding.
uh, but this is real interesting because I was trying to figure out a way to spread a toxin, and I could see me being able to fit this in as a much better solution than what I came up with. Not for this book, but for the second book. So
Fair.
I can see how I can fit this into my book, and I think that it would, if the natural resources in my world were to become toxic, it would turn my world upside friggin' down. I mean, it would, not just because of food, but of course because of food and livestock and family and taking everyone else. It's just for so long in my world, they've fought so hard to ensure that the world, the earth, stays safe and not toxic. So to suddenly have it be toxic, it would be devastating.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing too is both your world and mine are so reliant on natural resources, agriculture, livestock, that sort of thing. If your water cycle, your rain, your snow, your fog, clouds, whatever, if all of that became tainted with something, suddenly your creeks, your rivers, your groundwater, everything else is tainted too, and that'll end up in your crops, it'll end up in your livestock, and potentially kill them off. And yeah, it's a big freaking deal.
No, it is a big freaking deal, but I
Big
think
freaking deal.
a big.
Big freaking deal.
I think for my world, it would be psychologically devastating because they
Mm.
have for so long believed that they're the wardens of their earth and it's their job to take care of the earth.
Mm-hmm.
So to suddenly have something, a natural something, be toxic, they'd be, you know, there would be blame to go around, or self blame, I should say, and yeah, there'd be a great concern. It would just turn my world upside down.
Well, religion could come into play there as well, where people would, where do you place
Yes.
the blame? You know,
Mm-hmm.
does it go on themselves or does it go on the gods or
Right. Nope. Nope. Yep. Exactly. And
Did you
well,
sacrifice enough wheat and goats this year?
did you?
Absolutely not. Ain't nobody got time for that.
I feel like we jumped into a Settlers of Catan game just now.
so I love how this one question brought out in for Meg's world the political, and for Derek's world the natural resources, and for my world the spiritual. So same
Hmm.
question had such profound effects in different ways on our worlds, and
Absolutely.
that was pretty interesting.
Very interesting indeed. I will add, though, just because I can, as far as my main cast would go and their neighborhood, Sevendale and all of that, it is magically protected. So I am undecided on whether or not toxic rain would actually bother them. But it would definitely bother everybody else.
So how would they react if suddenly everyone else around them was suddenly dying from toxic rain.
People die every day. No, that is not how they would react. They would try to help. They would try to find a way to help, whether that be by moving people into their city or taking them fresh water or whatever. They would try to help.
So suddenly, you have to rely on your enemy to ensure that your grandfather doesn't die.
Yeah. Nice juicy politics.
Yeah, back to politics,
Yep.
but not the politics on government that level, the self politics.
Interpersonal.
Yeah.
politics. Yes.
Huh.
There's already a lot of that going on. So.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Make
Such
Nara
fun.
great again.
No, don't go there.
You can edit that snippet out.
That was fun.
That was fun. And misleading and strange. And violent. Genocide, anyone?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, if you're a world builder, crafting your first universe, or a seasoned creator, and this includes the D&D game masters, writers, authors, or any imaginative soul spinning new realms, we'd be thrilled to have you join our podcast. Drop us your pitch and what you'd like to talk about through whatifsouthisup.com or send a message via our Facebook page. We'd be honored to make your world the star of an episode or a dozen.
Yeah. That was
Yeah.
awesome, Meg. Good job. Woo! You're a pro already. Remember, our list is always open for new what if scenarios. If you have a unique twist you would want to explore, join us or simply send us your what if ideas. Or you can actually send us a what if from your world and see how it plays out in our world. And we'd be happy to give you all the credit. Who wouldn't love a free plug for their fantasy book, huh? Visit our Facebook page or send us an email at Send us an email at whysouthisup@gmail.com.
So, Xtina, where can folks find you on the interwebs?
My website is uniquelyxtina.com, but I can be found on the socials as uniquelyxtina, and I'm mostly active on Facebook because I'm old. I am on Insta, and I love TikTok. What about you, Meg?
You can find all of my work at 3bugspublishing.com. I'm going to say that again, 3bugspublishing.com. Or on the socials, I'm listed as MJ Lindsay just about everywhere.
And I am, as always, Derek Hall. My website is derekhallauthor.com, but you can also find me as D Hall Author just about anywhere.
Yay, we did it!
We survived. Look, Ma, I can read.
Thank you guys for having me.
Yeah.
Well,
We'll
you're
be
stuck
having
now.
you a
Well,
lot
I guess
more.
I'm stuck here. Yep.
Part of the ship, part of the crew.
Yeah, we you're here now. Yeah, we gotcha. We ain't letting you go.
All right, take her back to the dungeons. Until next time.
Until next time.
That's appealing to some folks in these tropes.
Hey,
Hey, Cindy.
I'm not going to judge. I might look at you funny, but I'm not going to judge.
We need to get Cindy out here next.
Yes.
Sure.
That was awesome.
Shades of
Thanks.
sarcasm.